Good early morning. So after Thanksgiving, and you probably ate a ton, and you're wondering, I'll wait till January 1st to start my nutrition plan or exercise or diet or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to give you some ideas and things you can do, and hopefully you've heard these before. So nutrition doesn't have to be tough. Probably the toughest thing is the fact that your tongue wants that taste or that crave. So breaking habits is probably the big part. I think the other one is accountability. So as we say about, in CrossFit Garage all the time, we double down on coaching, mentoring, and accountability. Everyone that comes to our gym, when they become a member to simply sweat or do nutrition, we give them a coach outside of the gym to talk to them to help plant the seeds of success through habit change and so forth. So first thing, I'm gonna start with a hard one. So this is not easy, but this would be the place to have a long-term habit change, and that's change the recipes and ingredients that you're using. So the first step, I'm gonna give you a good, better, best here. The first step is if you're eating a ton of fast food, stop eating fast food. So that's change your recipe, don't eat their recipe, use your own. So fast food is convenient and it's entertainment, but I don't consider it food. I do also eat fast food still, but I limit the type. So a Willie's with the ingredients right there and you're getting more vegetables and so forth is way better than a burger and fries from like McDonald's or something, right? So yeah, they're still both fast food. You can simply change those recipes, get something a little bit better. So aim towards that. Good would be doing edit that fast food or no fast food at all, right? Better would be actually start cooking and planning. So instead of going, it's Monday and I've got to eat, no, that this week I've got to eat. Sit down on Sunday, make a list, and go shopping and get that stuff and cook, right? So if you've changed your recipes, now you've got some. And there's this idea that you can use called, it's, I forget the actual name of it, but the example is Einstein limited his choices to increase his freedom of thought. He wore the same thing every day, right? So it's choice, I forgot what it's called, but I eat the same thing for breakfast every day, or nearly every day. And so I am free from those choices. I found something I can eat that is healthy and I'm fine, on the palate, whatever. So now I'm free to do other stuff. So you can do that too. Simply plan out the week. What am I going to eat? And can I make an extra portion to then save and eat later? And I do that all the time for lunch, especially working out of the house. So cook and plan it out. Best would be actually meal prep. So on Sunday, instead of making the list, Sunday is the day of cooking. So some of my good friends like the Lebrechts, they do a ton of meal prep. They've got 4 in their family and 2 youngsters, and they meal prep on Sunday so that everything's ready to go. So when they're like, you know what, I'm hungry, they just grab what they're supposed to be eating, right? The other one, which is a little bit tougher and we'll get into later on, is actually the timing of eating. So it's actually okay to be hungry. It's not going to kill you. So hunger is okay. And I'm not saying starve yourself. I'm just saying if you feel like a little bit of uncomfortableness, that's okay. That you need to feel a little uncomfortable. You never get better at anything if you're always comfortable in winning, right? So it's actually kind of funny when you take teams that play each other during the season. Let's say Team A wins, then they meet again. Team B learns something and what to change, and then Team B crushes Team A, and they're like, well, that's weird. Team A should have won, right? So I know it doesn't always happen, but you would think if A is better and they won, they should keep winning. Losing is learning. Uncomfortableness is learning. So make sure you learn something. All right. Next one. I got some notes over here that I'm looking at. I try to jot down a few things so I don't go on too many tangents. But change your food, right? So the stuff you're eating, we sort of talked about that in the first one with don't eat fast food. But what I'm talking about here is instead of getting or going for fries, can we do something different? How can I edit my palate? Now that oil and that salt is, it's like tasty in your tongue wants it, right? So you need to change some of that. And one way to change that is adding different spices. So I find that if I'm craving something and I eat a pickle, it pretty much kills that craving. Another good one is mustard, or you can go for any of the other spices. If you look at sugar as simply a spice, then you can kind of take it out and add something else, right? Obviously, you wouldn't want to put cinnamon on, what would you put, on cereal, right? Or oat, well, you would put it in oatmeal. I don't know. But you don't want to, or you may not want to combine these things, but try it and see if you like it. I put cinnamon and other spices and things that I normally wouldn't consider to see what it tastes like. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's gross, I throw it away. Other times I find something else to give my tongue pleasure so that I don't have to go towards sweet. So it's been 2.5 years since I had sugar and about the same amount of time for bread. And at this time, building all that, flexing the willpower muscle, it's not too difficult to keep it going. But it does take time. All right, so change your food. One of the biggest changes I would do is look for, so a good one is change to something more calorie dense. So typically, if you can unwrap it, it's not calorie dense. If you have to cook it or steam it, it's going to be calorie dense. So like broccoli is way better. I know everyone's like, broccoli, really? Or kale? Way better than crackers. Crackers don't really have anything. It's just something to entertain your mouth, not necessarily to give you food. So if you're eating for entertainment, that's a great way to ruin everything, because this shouldn't be entertainment. You should use it to communicate more than you do to please yourself, right? Or reward yourself. Your tongue, if you can get away from the idea of, oh, if I do this, I'll have a cookie. Get away from the idea of rewarding yourself from your habit loop with food in your mouth, all right? Next one, we talked about this kind of in this one and a lot in the past, is just get rid of sugar. If you can, so better is stop eating sugar. If you're thinking, how do I even do that? The first one would be stop drinking sugar. So if you could stop drinking, like right here, I've got tea. It's just black tea. There's nothing in it. Now, if you're thinking, wow, I can't do that, add something different. I put butter in mine sometimes, and you're thinking, well, that's gross. Research Bulletproof Coffee, and you'll see what I'm doing. You can put other stuff in your tea, other tastes, mint, cinnamon for your tea, but it doesn't have to be sugar, honey, stevia. I consider all of those the same things. If you're doing stevia and you're like, oh, well, it's stevia, it's not sugar. Yes, I know that the chemical reaction inside your body isn't exactly the same. But what is the same is the desire on your tongue for more sweet. So you're not curing the sweet tongue. You're just giving it another outlet, and it's going to betray you later on when you see those donuts and cookies that are made with whatever. You're going to eat those, and it's not stevia or all the other things that people are eating now that is not sugar but sweet. It does the same thing, giving your tongue that desire. So we want to get rid of that. So better would be just, get rid of sugar, choose some nutrient-dense food, get rid of sugar, and best, and we're going to get more into this, is journal. How do you feel? So this journaling is more about how you feel when you eat. So one way that I got out of eating a lot of things is I took a lot of notes. I'm a fan of these composition books. Just when I ate, I was like, how do I feel now that I ate that? My tongue loved it. It was good, and I felt yummy. And now I'm sitting here going, not so good, or I don't have the energy, or it didn't give me the spike, or I've got a headache. And weirdly, every time I eat this, I get gas, right? So maybe that's, well, for me, it's milk. I just can't drink milk anymore. I was fine until I got off of it, and now that if I try to go back, even creamer for like coffee, which I don't normally drink, yeah, stay away. So journal that, and you'll know what foods you shouldn't be eating. Your body, in a lot of cases, will naturally tell you, stay off of it. Okay, so the next one, and this is actually easy to do, but irritatingly hard to be consistent with, and that's journal. So you can use MyFitnessPal, which I think was bought by Under Armour, so it may cost something now. It used to be free, and you can literally go up with your phone and just go to the barcode scan on the back of a box and go beep, and it will say, hey, in MyFitnessPal, was it this? You're like, yeah. Then you proportion out how many servings did you have, right? And so it calculates all that, and you can see what you're eating. So it is possible to eat too much of something you may consider good. If you're eating 50 oranges a day, you're like, they're just an orange. Yeah, that's too much sugar, right? So put that in there and you'll see that, wow, that really adds up. Or if you're eating a Snickers versus that broccoli, you're gonna see, wow, that's way different calories than I thought, right? And I'm still kind of hungry, although it pleased my tongue, right? So track it in something like MyFitnessPal. It's super easy, it's free. The next level would be from the easy or medium on that. So easy or better or good better. Best would be get accountability. So find somebody to do this with you. So you are you have, in this case, I'm okay with a relative. When you're doing coaching, mentoring, and accountability, I wouldn't use a relative because they'll probably lie to you because they don't want to hurt your relationship. This one is okay. So just tell them, hey, look, here are my standards and what I want to do. Can you help keep me accountable? But find someone that's doing it too. Because if you're like, hey, brother, sister, dad, whatever, just look at this. They'll be like, I don't know. But if you find somebody out there, post on Facebook or MeWe or whatever you guys are using these days, hey, I want to do this. Does anyone want to go through this with me for 30 days? Then you'll find somebody that wants to help keep accountable, and accountability is massive. This is really what a boutique gym like a CrossFit Garage or anybody is really selling or promoting or helping for that drive towards perfection is accountability. And I've said this to you guys before. If you want to ruin your fitness, do the discount shopping, do Groupon. They don't give a crap because they need a ton of people to come in that can't focus on you. If you really want to do well in your fitness and health journey, find a coach, mentor, somebody that you can pay $1,000 a month, and I guarantee you they're going to do everything they can to get you healthy and fit because you're paying them good money, right? So you don't really need to find someone that's $1,000. It's just the extreme case. Yes, of course, they're going to do everything they can to help you mind your manners, right? Okay, so track yourself. Last one is the timing, and this one is easy until you make it hard. So stop eating before you go to bed. So if you're eating in bed, you got to stop that. So if you're eating and then I'm going to sleep, stop that too. So pick something easy at first. Let's say, if you don't have a nighttime routine, first get yourself a nighttime routine. That's a whole different topic. Find a nighttime routine. I'm not saying you have to go to bed if you're not tired, because if you're not hungry, you don't eat, even though it's noon, right? So go to bed when you're tired, but understand when that is going to be and stop eating 30 minutes before that. So at first, just make it a before bedtime thing you stop. So, hey, I go to bed, let's just say you go to bed typically around 10:30, stop eating at 10. If you can make that work and you're like, I'm not starving, and I woke up and I'm not dead, great. Then stop eating at 10:15 the next week, right? And then keep reducing that till it becomes a place that's hard for you. And you're like, yeah, I struggle a little bit because dinner, this and that, whatever, or I do get hungry or the morning is a bit uncomfortable. And then bump it back up. So you want to give yourself that intermittent fast, that time, that break between eating. Breakfast has a point, and use that time frame at night to help burn those calories, right? And help your stomach fully digest. So not eating close to sleeping or really extending that fasting time. It's easy at first. Just pick something easy. Hey, 30 minutes before I go to bed. But it becomes hard because you want to challenge yourself. If you don't make it hard, then you're not really learning anything about yourself. All right. So these are some tips and tactics. We do have nutrition counseling at our gym. We do 2 different styles, or we can mix it. One is more of a habit-based. Let's fix your habits and see what you're doing and do some correction and to give you some accountability there. The other is sort of that, but a lot more into the journaling and checking and tracking and seeing what's going on and what you're eating. So it's more of a test and measure, so like a MyFitnessPal type setup. And the other is behavior and habit change, which they're both equally valuable. Sometimes people need more of one versus the other, or it fits their lifestyle or something. So if you need help, let us know. We're here for you. If you just want to have some questions, email me, text me. Well, actually, don't text me. That's a tough one for me to get back to quickly on. Email is the best, and I can keep a string of conversations going with you, and we're happy to help. Or put it in the Facebook direct message, and we can get to you that way. All right. Hope that helps. Y'all take care.